Hello, everybody, and welcome to Distribution Unpacked. My name is Charles McLaughlin, and with me today is Steve Boyea, the CEO of Dixon Ticonderoga. Steve, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Of course, the pleasure's all ours. So, Dixon Ticonderoga, very recognizable brand, but I would still like you to take a minute to introduce yourself and the brand a little bit as it relates to the, distribution channel.
Absolutely. So Dixon Ticonderoga focuses on educational product as well as fine art product. So we have the iconic Ticonderoga pencil, but also do a lot in the paper side of things, construction paper, fadeless bulletin board paper, comp books, etc. So we have a very good reach into schools, into offices, and then on our fine art business into retail and e-commerce from that standpoint.
A lot going on in education, especially. So when you have a brand as established as the classic Ticonderoga #2 pencil, what are some of the market trends that you're seeing developing today, and what are you guys doing to meet some of those trends?
Oh, absolutely. So it's interesting that Ticonderoga, and call it old school tool for classrooms,
Right.
we had our best year ever. And our upcoming year is forecasted to be even stronger. I think a lot of it is just ensuring that teachers know where to buy Ticonderoga, how to buy Ticonderoga. The quality stands for itself. So we put a lot of input on how to utilize Ticonderoga even more in classroom, whether it's handwriting, whether it's just doing the math problems, but teachers love the quality. They love the sharpening capabilities. So it almost just kind of sells itself.
Right. That's amazing. So when you look at some of those vertical markets, obviously education being the big one, what are some of those unique demands that you're seeing? I mean, yes, teachers want that quality brand that they recognize, but what are maybe some of those unique classroom verticals that you're adopting, and are there other verticals that you guys are growing in as well?
So I think, the classroom, the education vertical has been challenged recently with funding challenges, the federal COVID funding, the ESSER funding going away a couple of years ago. School districts had a tough time saying, how do we adjust? And where do we make up for that funding stream that is no longer there? So some of that has been unfortunately coming out of our business and out of the supplies business. So it has been a challenge. We see that stabilizing over the next year or two, which I think will be very important. But teachers are also, they're younger. The older teachers are retiring in a very quick rate. So our big thing is trying to ensure that the younger teachers understand how to use the product, the attributes of the product. And a lot of it, they're looking on their phones and they're looking on laptops to see where to buy it and how to buy it and what should I buy.
Sure. I mean, when you think about it, it's the next generation of teachers coming in. And
Absolutely.
so that's a whole new market, essentially, even though you've been marketing to teachers for years.
Absolutely. And another trend that we see is teachers don't teach the same subject for many years like it used to be. It used to be a math teacher, art teacher, you were there your whole career.
Right.
Now it's filling gaps. And I taught science for 2 years. Now I'm teaching math, or now I'm teaching some other subject. And there's product that goes along with those subjects that they have to learn about.
Got it. So it's just every year they're going and trying to learn more. And so having those resources available is becoming critical.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads nicely into my next question. How do our customers, those wholesale distributors, continue to succeed in selling that product line that Dixon Ticonderoga has to offer?
So I think the thing that we have to look at is how are those end consumers getting their information?
Right.
And I think, improvement on web searches, on the quality of data that we're showing, product attributes, how to use. I think that's a big deal for us and us together.
Sure.
So it's trying to learn how are your end consumers gaining that information and what can we do to help?
Absolutely. And it sounds like that goes hand in hand with how you then educate the the teacher or the end user as well. So making sure that that communication line is clear all the way down to the bottom.
Absolutely.
So critical, especially when you have these iconic brands.
Absolutely.
Right? So just keeping it top of mind. We have a tradition here on the show. You know, our tagline here at SP Richards, simplifying complexity. And the wholesale distribution channel certainly has no shortages of complexity, right? So from your perspective and what you're seeing, like what are some of those common complexities that you guys solve and are able to simplify in this channel?
Yeah, so I think one of the things that we can solve is tying products together, building a bigger basket, showing teachers or end users how product X goes with product Y, and maybe simplify the decision-making time. I think that's a big thing. We have a pretty large market basket of items that we can bring together. We've got writing instruments, we've got paint, we've got coloring pencils, we've got paper.
Right.
We can tie things together.
Exactly. Creating that bundle, almost making it easy for someone to add on additional items to their order is critical, right? Well, Steve, as we wrap up today, I wanted to make sure I gave you the floor to bring up anything that you wanted to make sure our audience has left with that wholesale distribution community. Is there anything else we'd like to bring up as we wrap up today?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the topics is sustainability that we're looking at. I will say that I'm going to add more complexity to that. Unfortunately,
right. That's how it goes.
It goes. There's just more regulations coming on board.
Sure.
More states getting involved with extended producer responsibility, taxations. So there will be more confusion as states enact their laws and really put the foundations of what those laws mean and how taxes are being assessed. And it is fluid.
Right.
And there's more and more states that are getting on board. So be prepared for more complexity, unfortunately. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's a fact of life.
Right? That's how we stay in business, is being able to simplify those complexities. It sounds like you're working through those product offerings, staying ahead of those trends.
Absolutely.
And continuing to make sure that when those shifts do happen in more states, that our customers there are able to service their local markets and still capture that contract business.
You bet.
Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about,
That's what it's all about.
Well, Steve, thank you so much for your time and for your insight today.
bet,
Very
you
helpful
bet.
information here. We appreciate it. And thank you. And thank you all for watching.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yes,
Appreciate
of
it.
course. Thanks, guys.